Now this can get complicated, so I want you to really pay attention to what I'm going to say here the next maybe minute or so. We just saw that when we join two tables together, whether it's traditional syntax with a comma in between and a where clause, or it's an inner join ANSI syntax with an on clause, we can have an additional and clause, and the system will always go out and find the additional and clause rows first, thus saving us enormous amounts of time. Well, it's a little bit trickier with outer joins. Here we're going to do a left outer join on e.depno equals d.depno, where e.depno equals 100. So in an outer join and an additional where clause, it's actually going to join everything together first, and then it's going to say, I'm going to eliminate things. So this is going to take a lot more time, but in the end on this outer join, you're going to get the proper looking report that you probably expected. This is a whole different scenario, but it doesn't look like this. Once again, we're going to do a left outer join on e.depno equals d.depno, but in this outer join, we have an additional and clause, and e.depno equals 100. This is going to produce results that are just a little bit different. Take a look at this report. This looks ridiculous because of the additional and clause in an outer join. So we joined on e.depno equals d.depno. We get that. It actually is going to not do that first. It's going to first go out and say, hey, there's an additional and clause in this outer join. So let's go find this where e.depno equals 100. And it's going to go out and get that row and says, all right, we got a match. But that's when it says, hey, I found a bunch of other stuff out here in this left table employee that wasn't a match. And he goes, well, then put all the stuff in that you can and put nulls on the opposite side. That's why this is probably not what you want to do. So let's just recap. Anytime you have a traditional join, that's an inner join, and you have an additional where clause or an additional and clause, it's going to go get the additional stuff first, thus cutting out on the query every time. It's going to save so much time. But when you go to an outer join, your additional where clause is going to run last. Take a lot of time, but it's going to give you the information that's going to make sense to you. And if you have an outer join and you have an additional and clause, oh, it's going to do that and clause right away, but then it's going to bring back a bunch of junk with it. So those are your options for your inner and outer joins with additional where and and clauses.
This lesson is brought to you by Coffing Data Warehousing. Serving the data warehousing needs of the world for 20 years. Check out coffingdw.com for more information.
Hi, this is Tom Coffing. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please hit subscribe to make sure you are kept up to date on all our videos.